Hey guys, how's it going? Thank you for joining me today. Before I begin, I just want to say a quick thing. We're in the middle of a global pandemic, and for a lot of us, this is not fun. We're stuck at home and we're bored, we're jobless, we're worried, we're not sure what we're gonna do next. If you are at home and you are on the couch binge watching Netflix, definitely take the time to do that a little bit and decompress. But then get off the couch and teach yourself something new. This is not a time to just let life pass you by, to wait. There's no waiting. There's only now, and we have phones, we have laptops, most of us, and we have access to the internet. I think this is a really good opportunity to learn something new, learn a language, learn an instrument. There's so much stuff that you can do while you're stuck at home. I'm here shooting these videos. I feel super weird. There's no one in this room, but I'm doing the damn thing. I've been wanting to share what I've learned over the years, and I want to make this more readily accessible for you guys. That's it. I'm done with my spiel, and here we go. Today I want to talk about the Flashpoint eVOLV 200 R2 pocket flash and why I think this is possibly the highest value studio strobe on the market right now. This is my go-to light for pretty much all of my studio portraiture. So before we start, if there's any question, I mentioned this in my last video, Flashpoint and Godox are the same product with a different manufacturer. So the Flashpoint eVOLV 200 and the Godox AD200 are the same light. Traditionally, there's been a huge gap between your studio strobes at 400 to 600 watt seconds and a speed light that gives you significantly less power and of course is much more portable, but in most cases, especially on a large set, they're not giving you enough power to get the job done. Flashpoint has bridged this gap with a 200 watt second light. This unit has a number of different heads that you can put on it. There's a Fresnel head, and I have some adhesive backed Velcro on either side. And very simply, I can throw a gel over my light and now I've got colored light. And there's a bare bulb head, which is cool because this makes it a proper studio strobe. Just like that. It has a lithium ion battery. Flashpoint boasts 500 plus full powered flashes on one battery cycle. I'm never shooting at full power. I'm shooting at 1/16, 1/32 power. So this battery lasts me all day. I never have to worry about that. At 3 times the power of a speed light, you're getting something that's almost the same size. Look at that, look at that. That's awesome. I love this. This unit with the battery and the head is only 2 pounds, so you can pack a bunch of these in your bag and be on the go with it very easily. Another thing I love about this light is that it has high-speed sync. High-speed sync essentially allows you to shoot at a really fast shutter speed. Traditionally, for your light and your camera to sync in that small fraction of a second, you couldn't shoot faster than 1/200th or 1/250th of a second. What high-speed sync allows you to do is to shoot at a much faster shutter speed, which opens up a lot more possibilities. You can cut down on ambient light because you can shoot at such a fast shutter speed. This also has a built-in radio slave, so no more pocket wizards. They're a thing of the past. All you need is this, your camera, and a trigger to fire the unit. And a huge thing that I really like about this light is its ability to fire at a very low power. A 500 watt second unit, for example, even at its lowest power, is going to give you so much light output that you either have to close down your aperture, which you lose the flexibility of choosing whether or not you want a shallow depth of field, or you have to put an ND filter on the front of your lens, which then makes it hard to see your subject. The autofocus might creep around a lot. This unit resolves all of those issues. I can fire these at a very low power, which allows me more flexibility to mix ambient light and studio light. So a big question with this unit at only $300 is, what is its performance like? Does it stand up to a ProPhoto B1, for example? The answer is no, absolutely not. However, a ProPhoto B1 unit is $2,100. And I don't think there's an $1,800 gap in performance. There are a few things about this light that are, I would say, imperfect, but it is not enough to bother me, and I use these are my daily lights. The exposure output of these is not perfectly consistent. Once in a while when I'm shooting really fast, I'll go through the images and I'll notice that there's a subtle shift in the exposure because the light output is not spot on 100% of the time. The difference is so nuanced that you can hardly tell. If you need to get it back to where it was, it's a matter of changing the exposure in post-production, just the smallest amount. Another thing is color consistency. Studio strobes are daylight balanced at 5500, 5600 Kelvin, and every studio strobe is going to have a little bit of a cyan magenta color shift from shot to shot. Now the difference is very subtle. The only time that I ever notice that color shift is if I'm shooting corporate headshots on white and I'm trying to get a pure white backdrop. I'll notice just the tiniest shift I'm desaturating my background anyways, so it's not really an issue for me. If I'm firing these at full power and I'm firing fast, they're going to misfire sometimes. The recycle speed is not so fast that I can just like blast away at full power. One last thing I found that's a little bit finicky about this light. Finicky. That's a thing that us Lancaster people like to say. Finicky. Do you say finicky? Sometimes this thing fires at full power randomly, and I have no idea why. It's only occasionally, and when it first started happening, I was kind of freaked out. I'm like, what the heck's happening? And the whole image is getting blown out. All I have to do is hit the test fire button on my trigger. It resets it to whatever power you had it at, and everything is fine. So if you're buying this unit, you're going to need a mount. You can grab the Glow S-Type bracket. This is like 17 bucks, and it goes right in here. Just do that. And then you put this on the tripod, or I mean, you put this on the oh my God. You put this on the light stand and you're all set. You just stick the light modifier right on there. Make sure that if you're buying this with this Glow S-Type bracket, that the light modifier you get has a Bowens mount, because this fits a Bowens mount. You're also going to need a trigger, so pick up the Flashpoint R2 Pro 2. This is like $79. They make a cheaper model for like $45. I would not recommend buying it. It has a tiny little screen. The wheel is not very responsive. It only has 2 buttons. This thing has a nice, beautiful LCD, and it's just much easier to navigate. So that's pretty much it. This is my light. This is my go-to for everything that I do. If you have any questions about this unit, please leave it in the description. Please leave them in the comment section below, and hit the like button. Or maybe it's over here. Hit the like button if you found this video helpful. Thank you. We will see you next time.